Hi guys, a lovely day to all of you. My name is Avinash and welcome back my channel, The Learning Destination. Under this sessions today, I'm gonna show you that how you can flag out compliant and non-compliant role in your AWS account. And this is compliance related topic. So before I proceed for the practical session, one request guys, this is my YouTube channel. You can get a lot of videos here on different topics. Please do subscribe it and you can also follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Avinash Mayto. Alright guys, let me explain this entire process, this architecture diagram, so you will have better understanding that how does it actually works. Okay, and as earlier mentioned, like this entire system flag out compliant and non-compliant role in AWS account. So there is an admin or user. If it makes any changes in IAM role, like creations of role, changes or deletions of the role, this activity is being recorded by the AWS config. AWS config is continuously monitoring and recording the activity of the IAM role. If it finds that there is something occurs, there is a changes, creations or deletions, any activity occurs in this area under IAM role, it invokes this Lambda functions. This Lambda functions is having the Python script, which I am going to share in description sections. You can take it from there. So basically this Lambda function scans all the IAM role and it checks for compliant and non-compliant. I'm also going to tell you on what basis we are judging that this role is compliant or non-compliant, on what kind of factors we need to consider for it, that I'm going to tell you. Okay, so if it finds all the reports from this IAM role, whether it's a compliant or non-compliant, okay, it prepares the report and then it sends into the notifications to the Slack channel. So this is the entire process, that how this is the way that you can flag out and ultimately you can trigger the notification into the Slack channel. And this entire process we are going to see right now by practically. Now let me quickly tell you what are the considerations that decides that this is the compliant role and this is non-compliant role. So under compliant role, we should give the least privileges. Second one is that we should enable the MFA for sensitive actions. We should do regular audits. Apart from that, we should enforce limits on permission, and then we should have a strong trust policy. It means limits who and what can assume the role. After that, if I talk about the non-compliant role, the best practices are like it should not be overly permissive. Like sometimes we give unnecessarily permissions to the role. If we do so, that comes under non-compliant role practice. In the same way, if there is no MFA, that should also consider as a non-compliant. Then there are several times we create the roles and we remains as it is while it is not in use. That also can be considered as a non-compliant role. So these are the main practices for non-compliant roles, and basis on these factors which I just tell you, basis on this entire system, this script actually judges that these roles are compliant or non-compliant. So I hope now you have better understanding over it. Let's jump into the practical session. Okay guys, so now it's time to jump into the practical sessions. So according to this diagram, firstly I'm going to create this Lambda function. So I already logged in into my AWS account and I'm going to create one Lambda functions. I give it name IAM compliance checker. Okay, after that, which one I need to select? Python 3.11 and the role which I have already created, and create functions. Okay, after that I need to put up the script, the Python script. So guys, I already prepared the script. You can get it from here. This is one of the repo in my GitHub called resource tagging. And don't worry guys, because I'm going to give this link into the description sections. You can take it from there. And you need to choose this one. Okay, IAM role compliance notifier.py. So you come here, copy all this code. This is a simple code guys. I use Boto and request additionally. Okay, so basically it's going to list down all the roles, and after that it's going to check the compliant and non-compliant basis of the factors we have just discussed now. Okay, so I just copy this script, and after that at the last it sends to Slack. It sends notification to Slack channel. Okay, So I copy the entire script and let me go to functions here. This is the functions we have created just now. Let's come to code section. Okay, paste this code here and after that deploy. Okay, this is done. Okay, here we need to give the incoming webhook URL as well. Okay, so right now I am going to just run this lambda functions to test it. I am going to test whether it works or not. Okay, and because if it works successfully, then AWS config is just to invoke this lambda functions. Okay, so firstly this part is made. We need to first fix this out, that whether it works or not. Okay, if this part is fixed, then this is just a simple process. We are just only using these functions to record all the activity from here, and then it will invoke this lambda functions. Okay, so that is the reason that firstly I am creating this lambda function. So we need to test it out. Before that, there is a incoming webhook URL that we need to give. Okay, so okay, I'm going to show you one more thing in Slack. You are also going to learn that how you can enable an incoming webhook in any channel in Slack. Okay, so let me create one channel. I give it name compliance checker. Compliance checker. Okay, next. Okay, public, create. So this channel is created. Skip for now. This channel is created. Now I'm going to enable incoming webhook in this channel. Let's enable the incoming webhook. Okay, after that I need to go where I need to go. Integration and add an app. Incoming webhook view. Go to configuration section. I just close this window. It is not in used. So incoming webhook, and after that we need to copy the URL in incoming webhook URL. I don't know why it is slow. Let me refresh it. It's taking a little bit longer time. Okay, so add to Slack, and then we will get the URL here. It's a bit slow, guys. Here we need to choose the channel. So the channel, we have created this channel, compliance checker, and after that add incoming webhook integration. Okay, then after that we will get the webhook URL like this. Okay, you come down somewhere, you can copy from below as well. It is still okay, so we can copy this URL. It's still moving. Okay, copy this URL, come return to your lambda functions and put it here. Okay, then deploy it. Perfect. Now one more thing, guys, which I would like to highlight here. So under this script, basically this script is going to scan all the accounts. So suppose you have the architecture, something like that. You have the AWS control tower. Under that you have organizations, and under that you have more than 100 200 AWS account onboarded, right? So if you place this lambda functions in one of the central account, from there it can scan all the rows which is under your 100 200 accounts. It scans and send you the reports. Okay, so this script is generally, I haven't yet limited only for the one account, but for the entire accounts, whatever the numbers you have, it is able to scan your all the accounts. Okay, under AWS organization. You just need to figure it out how you can centrally place it. Okay. Okay, perfect. Deploy. Now let's test it. Okay. In between, you can see here, if I go in compliance checker channel, here you can see that if you successfully integrated the incoming webhook, you can see the message something like that. Okay. Now let's return and test this lambda function. All right, guys, let me create one test. I give it name compliance notifier. Okay. And I want to check for all the accounts, so I keep this one. Okay, like this, save it, come to the code. Okay, and after that compliance notifier. Okay, so if it runs successfully, then we should get the compliance report under this channel. Okay, let's try it out. And once it is done, it means that we are good to go. I mean, we will be good to go to complete these sections, and after that we will only focus on these sections, because this section is just to invoke the lambda functions. So if the activity is happening here, it will record the activity from here, and the moment it finds any occurrences here, after that it invokes the lambda functions, and then the notification will come here. Okay, so let's test this. Select this compliance notifier test. I think unable to. Okay, so we are getting the error here. Okay, request. Okay, why we are getting error here? Because in this there is no request is installed. It is a Python packages that we can install it through the pip, right? This library. Okay, let's do it. You are going to learn many things, guys, in lambda functions. Then please do subscribe here, because in the same time you can see that even in the live sessions I do the troubleshooting. Okay, so while doing troubleshooting you will be getting a lot of things, guys, that the point need to be considered. So if you get such kind of error where you are missing some packages, how you can import it into the lambda functions, that I am going to show you. Okay, so this is one of my Linux based instance. Okay, so let's create one directory called lambda. We go under this lambda, we install here pip install request, right, -t here. Should work, right? Request, yes, it is working. The user can, let me see that. Okay, we have all the packages. Now we will create one file here, touch a space, we call it the lambda functions name, lambda underscore functions dot py, lambda underscore function dot py. Okay, after that we need to make a zip of this one. Let me copy the command from here quickly. Okay, let's come out from here and we will find here this one. Okay, now this zip file we need to take it on my local machine so I can upload it in lambda function. Let me take a use of WinSCP. I go WinSCP. WinSCP. Okay, so it is open. Let's connect it. This machine. Open. Password. Okay, then I kept that package into the root itself. So let me find out where is my zip file. Lambda. Refresh it. I cannot see where it is. Here. Okay, download. Okay, yes, replace it. Okay, I already downloaded it yesterday when I was testing it. Let me check whether it comes or not yet. Go to download here. Okay, so after that we can just upload it from here. Zip file, upload, and lambda functions, open, save it. Okay, so this code is gone. Again, we need to copy this one and the incoming webhook as well. So I copy from here, paste, and let's take the incoming webhook URL as well, because that is replaced now. So we need to point out here, we need to give it here. Okay, deploy. Okay, now test it once again. Test. Seems it is working this time. Error message task. Okay, so go to configurations, general configurations, add it, increase the timeout value from here. I give it 1 minute. Save it. Let's run again now. Should we work this time, guys? Okay, so you can see that it has successfully executed, and now simultaneously you can also see that the report which we receive under the Slack. Okay, so this was the Slack channel compliance checker, and we have received the report here. So total there is around 50, I think 66 role is there total in my account, in this account total there is a 66 rule, and all are compliant, right? So if there is any rule which is non-compliant, you can easily see the report from here. Okay, so it makes your operations work quite easy, because every morning your ops team can easily generate the report, or you can schedule it. That I am going to show you. Even you don't need to manually trigger it. That's the ultimate goal, right? To automate this entire process, and that is the reason that we are going to use AWS config. So this is how you are going to generate the report. Okay, now let's do the same thing. Right now we want to achieve through the AWS config. Let's do it through the AWS config. Okay, so when you first time come in AWS config, you will be getting the main page, something like this. So you need to say get started. Firstly, we need to create the dashboard. Okay, and here is the selections. All resources type with customizable overrides. You want to record all the resources in AWS account. You can select this one, or if you have any specific, like let's say I want to only record my IAM role, right? So I need to select this one, a specific resource. And if you want to record all the activity for all the resources, you need to go with this options, guys. And before enabling this, guys, you check the price. Okay, I think there is something price like 0.003 for some for particular hours, like for 1 hour, something like that. You check once again. Okay, so the price also varies that how many resources you are recording. Okay, then from here resource type is I am going to select IAM role, and frequency continuous. Okay, so if here there are two kind of frequency. One is daily. If you want to run it daily on a particular time, you can do it, or you want to continuously monitoring it. Continuously, it means that if I make any changes right now in IAM role, it will instantly, this AWS config will trigger this lambda functions, and I will be getting notification here. Okay, so I want continuous just for testing purpose. And use an existing AWS, guys, these options I tell you, you leave it this default. Okay, if you select this one, these options, you might have to go through some troubleshooting in terms of the policy that you are going to attach if you use any custom. Okay, so let it decide, let it finalize that what are the permissions it requires. Anything, we need to add one more permissions that I am going to show you. Okay, choose a bucket. So this is this AWS config is going to create this bucket. So if any occurrences occurs, any activity occurs, it is going to put up the logs under this bucket, and from there it will read, and then accordingly it will take the actions. Okay, then you can configure the SNS topic also, guys. If you want a specific notification on email ID or some other channel, you can go through the Amazon SNS as well. But as of now, I am taking the notification in my Lambda functions itself. So as you have seen, like I have given the Slack channel directly here. Okay, the same thing you can do through the SNS as well. Next, then after that, next, and AWS config. This rule we need to create. This is one of the most important thing, guys. So we are confirming and recording method. So it will take some time. Let's get it complete. I will be back then. I think it's done, so no need to back. Okay, so here you can see that since currently it is showing that we have total 66 numbers of IAM role, and it has captured all the resources which is currently in my AWS in my Singapore region. Okay, so it has tracked down all the resources here, but the rule is only configured for this one. Okay, so the recording will happen only on IAM role, not on all these actions. Okay, all right guys, this is done. Now it's time to create the rule. So add rule and then create custom lambda rule. Okay, so here you can point out the lambda rule functions. So I say this is IAM compliance checker. Okay, and after that the same descriptions, it is optional, and then here you need to give the ARN value of the lambda function. So that you can copy from here, ARN value. Okay, here. Okay, after that, then here you can, when configuration changes, here you can set the periodically also. Okay, like frequency, all these things you can set from here. Frequency like per hour, every 3 hours. I go with this one because I want to trigger the notifications if any changes occurs. The same time it should send the notifications. Okay, then rest of the things should look like okay. And after that, save. After saving, if we get error, then I will tell you what we need to do. Okay, so we are getting this. Before you add this rule, update your IAM permission, because the reason this IAM permission, this lambda doesn't have permission to communicate with this AWS config, or you can say that this AWS config doesn't have permissions to invoke this lambda functions. Okay, so for that we need to run this command, or you can do it manually also, but I go through the command line. I already copied the command. Okay, let me explain what is this. So basically it is adding a permissions. This is my lambda functions name. We need to change the lambda functions name, guys. The lambda functions name is something different from in this IAM compliance checker. Let me update here. Okay, then add, we are bringing add config permission, this permissions and lambda invoke. Okay, so we are giving the permissions to invoke the lambda functions. And then okay, so this is one of my Linux machine. There I have already configured one role here. So this Linux machine is able to communicate with my this AWS console. Okay, so I can run all the CLI AWS CLI command from this machine. So it is added. Now if we go and see the permissions in this lambda functions, let me show you. Come to configurations, then permissions. So this is added where it is lambda managed. Let me refresh it. One rule should be added here. Okay, so this is add config permission. This is added. Okay, then after that, now let's try again to add the rule. Save it again, try to save it. Okay, so this time it works. The rule IAM compliance checker has been added to your account. Perfect. We may receive notifications now also, but anyway, we just make some changes in console in rule, and then we will see that whether this AWS config is working or not. Okay, so okay. You see guys, I am continuously the previous logs, because it started recording the activity, and I am continuously getting the uh, notifications under my Slack channel. Okay, and this notification is coming through the this AWS config. So you can see that due to 7880 here, it keeps triggering the old messages, the previous activity messages. Maybe here I need to work something on to put the some limit, so it doesn't send the previous record, it can only send the latest record. Okay, so you can see that the messages is keeps coming, it keeps coming. Okay, anyway, okay, so but I'm going to show you right now, I'm going to make changes in the role, and simultaneously the notifications will be triggered. Okay, so that's the ultimate goal that I am going to share. Let's get it clear first, these queues. Guys, one more thing which I would like to highlight, I did one changes because I was keep getting the notification in my Slack channel continuously. Okay, so for that what I did, because earlier what I had selected the options, I had selected all changes. Okay, so it means changes with any resources in AWS account. Okay, it will trigger the notification for all the AWS resources, but I want to keep only for a specific services, right? So how do you select? You can select like this, AWS resource, and since I want to keep only for IAM role, so you can select only for IAM role like this. Okay, and then I save it. I keep the frequency 24 hours, 24 hours, yes, and here the rest of the options, so depends on your need, you can change this frequency. Okay, I just cancel it because my rule is already saved. It is the same rule. Let me show you once again. If I go here, edit, so it is the same AWS IAM role. Okay, then after that I come in role sections. Okay, I select any role. Let's say I select this one, and I'm going to make any changes over there, and I should receive notification in Slack channel. Okay, I just remove these permissions from here. I remove it. Now there is some delay. The moment when I change, there is some delay. The AWS config will trigger this Lambda functions, and then the notification will come, okay, under the Slack channel. So right now is 6:44 p.m., 6:44 p.m. You can see this timing. Okay, so just wait and let's see that when the notification will come. I think it's 1 or 2 minute delay. So here I will fast forward the video, but I keep this screen on. Okay, so we will see that exactly when we will receive the notifications. So right now 6:44, the event occurred at 6:44 right now, and just wait for some time. Right, yeah, you see we received this. Okay, so there is delay around 1 or 2 minutes, 2 minutes approx. So 6:44 we trigger, right now is 6:46 p.m. Okay, we received these messages. Okay, so it means it's successfully working. Okay, here you can see that 6:46, this is the latest one we received just now. Okay, now let's try one more time. We are going to add one rule, new rule. Okay, or we are going to delete this rule. Let delete this rule, new AWS config rule, delete this rule. Let's see. Oh, I'm not using this rule. I think so. I'm not using this rule. Delete it. Okay, let's see that whether we will be getting notification or not. So this time I'm going to pause this video. Right now is 6:47 p.m. Let's see that when we will receive the notifications. Alright guys, so here we received the notification. Let me show you the timing. So this one, the latest we received 6:49. Okay, so 6:47 we trigger, we remove this rule. Okay, at 6:47, and you can see that 6:49 we received the alert. So there is some lagginess between 2 to 3 minutes, guys. Okay, so that's how we can see that this entire process is working. Okay guys, so I know it took little bit longer, but it was a difficult automations. It was a bit tricky, but then I made it possible. I made it in a very simple way. So we are done with this session, guys, where we have seen this entire procedure. So if you have any questions, you can write me in the comment sections of the videos. And then if you want to directly reach me, you can also directly reach me on LinkedIn. You can directly message me. Okay, so that's all from this sessions. I hope you won't face any problem when you implement this, because I made it very simple right now. Okay, so all right, guys. So one more request: if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, then do subscribe now. Thank you so much for watching this. You have a lovely day.